Hello, my friend. For a while, we've been wanting to be back with you in one of these short videos, and I'm grateful for Shannon to reach me again. And here we are talking in many ways about some of the same things that continue on in our lives. As we approach this time, I was thinking of how St. Francis would say to all of us, as we feel like we're making some success and making progress, and also when we're not. So in both times, he would say, let us begin now. So I would invite us, as even autumn begins to lick the trees around here, and we woke up to frost and very cold this morning, it's warmed up today, that you and I are in a time of the autumn of our lives, maybe. We're also in the springtime of our faith and the opportunity to create the new relationships, new life, and a new church. Francis says, let us begin now, because up until now, we've done almost nothing. In other words, looking over our shoulder, we can say, well, gee, it's an incredible valley here. But who else could live here with us? How can people come among us wherever we are? How do we bring people into communion with us? Thomas Merton writes in a very beautiful book that's very popular for many, his New Seeds of Contemplation by Thomas Merton, who taught for a brief time at Bonaventure, went on to be one of the great spiritual voices, writers of our time. Continues to be a very lively engager of issues around racism and inclusion and love of others and creation, and the God who dwells in our midst, the God who is love. And he says, you and I and all people are made to find our identity in the one mystical Christ, in whom we all complete one another. That's an interesting image, that we complete one another until the perfect person. In other words, we come together into, and he's quoting St. Paul here, into an unmeasurable fullness of Christ. So there's this great richness that only comes about as we come into each other's lives, as we gather, as family, as friends, as people we've yet to meet. And of course, during the illness of this time, this pandemic that we're still in, there are opportunities there, even though they're few, to reach to some others, to be aware of them at least, sometimes to help them out, certainly always to be holding them in prayer. Merton goes on and acknowledges the human situation that we're in when he says, as long as we are on earth, the love that unites us will bring us suffering by our very contact with one another, because this love is like resetting a body of broken bones. It's a simple title of this chapter, and it's a graphic image of the truth. He goes on and comments that the only way to healing often is if a doctor resets our bones. And you and I might be going through that in relationships, within our own lives, certainly within the church and the world. Structurally, things are broken. And what comes back together again, or what needs replacement? What is it that is drawn into a fullness and a completeness now? We are just before the Feast of Francis, which comes up in a little while. And it's wonderful that it happens for us. I don't think he chose autumn as his time to die, though he might have. It comes for us in the autumn in our lives, when things seem to be passing away. We risk celebrating passage, because through it, we move into a newer and fullness of life. We let go of ourselves as we've seen ourselves. We may let go of the way we've been seeing a loved one. Why? Because it's not true, it's not complete, it's not full. And we go through the pain of the bone being healed, of the coming together of union, of the rejoining of the parts to the whole. During this time of profound challenge for us, when more people have died on our streets since I spoke to you last, let us be healers of our human lives and healers of the earth. And may we believe in the healing that God is bringing us right now. May we trust in the one who unifies all things in Christ, and in Christ brings all of us to union. My sisters and brothers, the Lord give you peace.